Hey, what's up guys, MGH here, and it's that time of year again. We are starting to see the new FIFA gameplay and leaks and screenshots and all sorts of information that starts coming out around this time of year. We're only a couple of months away from the release, and today I've got some actual gameplay for you. We've got Manchester City versus Manchester United in a Europa League tie. Of course, they've got the Champions League license and the Europa League license. And check this out, new menus, looks very nice and clean, but hopefully as we watch this gameplay together we'll see some noticeable differences in the gameplay. I think FIFA 18 was generally a good game, but the actual gameplay itself sometimes got very tedious. Here is something new though that I spotted in the video that I found. It is game plans and tactics. So up there in the top left corner, if you press L2, you can edit your game plans. That'll be interesting to see what that looks like. And they've changed the tactics completely. So you see, almost like PES style, it feels like you see dots on the pitch moving around. You get a better understanding of what you're actually doing with your squad when you change settings around. Before it was just a slider and you kind of just wing it, don't you? But anyway, here we go into the game. This is the first bit of FIFA 19 gameplay in proper HD that I've seen, and hopefully that you've seen as well. It's going to be really interesting to see if the gameplay actually is different this year. Now, the first thing you've got to take out of your mind when you watch these things is it's still football, right? There's actually not that much you can do with a football game every single year to make it noticeably different. At the end of the day, it's 11 versus 11 players on a pitch kicking a ball around, right? There's not like they can add weapons in and new maps and, you know, there's just stadiums, players and a football. So you can't expect too much, but what I do want to see every single year is new animations, new player faces, of course the new kits, which they do every year. This video does not feature the new kits, unfortunately. I'm guessing this is quite an early build, probably close to the build that we'll be playing when the demo comes out. But hopefully I'll get invited to the EA Capture event once again this year, and I'll be playing a much better build, a closer build to release. The demo, when it comes out, is always about 2 months before the release build, so you actually don't play a very good version of the game, if I'm honest, which is why the demo doesn't really mean much to me. But here we are, guys, gameplay time, and straight away in this match, cross into Sane, and it's in. The goalkeeper, David De Gea, one of the best rated keepers in the game in FIFA 18, and I'm sure he'll be up there again in FIFA 19. Just watch this replay. I've got to be honest, you know, he's playing on professional. It's not... This guy that's playing is clearly much better than professional. He should be on maybe legendary or world class. But let's just have a look at this replay and you'll see what I mean here. Sane doesn't get that much power on it and it's right past the keeper. So hopefully, you know, one of the complaints I had for FIFA 18, especially with career mode, was that the gameplay difficulty wasn't hard enough. Even on legendary, it's sometimes a little bit too easy, and I think that's something that needs to be adjusted massively. It's a big problem for us career mode YouTubers trying to make an entertaining career mode when you just destroy teams when you really shouldn't be. So hopefully we see a bit of a difference when it comes to FIFA 19 gameplay difficulties. Maybe the introduction of ultimate difficulty from Ultimate Team. That would be very nice indeed, just to make it that much harder. The problem with difficulties in FIFA or games like FIFA is the AI just become robotic, and it's actually not necessarily harder, but just more boring. You get less possession and you are less likely to score because the keepers are like gods. That's the main problem with difficulty. It needs to be fluid. It needs to be realistic difficulty, which is very difficult to program correctly when there's so many variables, so many different things happening on the pitch in one go. Effectively, what they do with difficulty is just make their players stronger than yours. They increase the stats, they make them faster, stronger, more agile, and that, of course, is fine to some extent. But if you want to play a career mode on ultimate difficulty, the odds are it's just that they've boosted their stats up to 99, and they are just going to be bigger and better players than you. So it'd be nice if they could adjust it more realistically, somehow in the coding, just make it just tougher to play against, but not make them like robots, because they pretty much already are very robotic, the AI. And it's got better over the years for sure, but FIFA 18 particularly, it reminds me of, I think it was FIFA 14, where it was just way too easy to get through the defence. And actually, quite often it looks like you're playing on professional compared to legendary, because the defenders give you way too much space. And in this video, I've watched it through once before, obviously commentating over it. It feels like professional might be a little bit harder It's difficult to tell without actually playing, as they hit the bar twice in a row there. Very unlucky, Man United. New goalkeeping camera angle there when it comes to taking the goal kicks, which is quite nice. It looks like the AI are a little bit closer to the guy playing, but I don't know if that's just me. I mean, maybe not a great example of it right here. You can see Sterling right on this near side, completely unmarked. One thing I have noticed, though, there is a few more passing animations as we approach half-time here. Sterling there just opening his body up to kind of swing the ball around the defender's leg, which was quite nice. And here you can see the in-game menus. Basically, it's just a new colour. I do wish they would do a little bit more when it comes to changing the menus every year, except from just the colour. And they have done that with the pre-match menu. If you go back to the start of this video, you will see that the actual menu itself has changed. It's not just a reskin. But in terms of, you know, that suggested subs window popping up, the text in the top right corner there, everything is pretty much exactly the same. But again, what can you expect? It's just buttons at the end of the day that need to be just clear and obvious to use to navigate around different things in the game. So let's take a look more at the gameplay here. Are there any changes that you guys can see? Does it look slower? Does it look faster? I think the graphics of the game are probably at a level we would expect at this point. The Frostbite engine is beautiful. The players look great up close. But when you zoom out, you lose a lot of detail, of course. It's just going to look like FIFA 18. There's no real advancement there. The main things for me are the close-up animations, the cinematics, the celebrations when you score. And at the end of this match, you'll see that Man City do win. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it for you. But they do lift up the trophy. And you can see the animation is pretty much the same as in the last few FIFAs, but it does look a little bit more crisp. And look at this for a finish. Boom. Straight into the left corner there from De Bruyne, one of the best players in the world right now for sure. If Mo Salah didn't play so well last season, we would have been seeing him with the Player of the Year award, that's for sure. I think Man City are going to be incredibly strong in FIFA 19, especially in career mode with all their youngsters and a massive budget, and they haven't really spent much so far this window compared to previous ones. You know, we're so used to seeing Man City spending hundreds of millions, and they've only got Mahrez so far, but I'm sure that will change. They'll bring in someone new. So 2-0 here with a couple of minutes to go. Are we going to see more urgency from the City players to try and kill off the game with a third, or are we going to see a bit more defending from Man United, trying to nick the ball and then counter? At this point, you know, on professional, I don't think you're going to see too much. What I would really like to see is a game on Legendary. I think that's going to give us more of an indication on how the AI is actually being built for this game. I'm pretty sure it's going to be very similar, though, to FIFA 18. But always nice to see new additions in those menus, like the new tactical game plan thing. That might be a game changer when it comes to career mode. The chance to easily switch between game plans depending on who you're playing against. I mean, how that's not in the game already, I will never know. But, you know, if you're coming up against a really strong team, you could put maybe a defensive game plan up. Or if you come up against a team that you think you'll be beating easily, then you can switch to a way more attacking formation with the click of a button instead of editing the squad and the tactics every single match. But that is going to be the end of the game. Man City are victorious, as I said. And let's take a look at the celebrations here. I think they've added in a couple more animations on the players themselves there. But I've got to be honest, the camera view here and the general celebrations and the commentators, of course, are new. I forgot to mention that. But it looks very similar to FIFA 18 here. I think they may have actually just reskinned it, to be fair. A few new player faces, though, that might be updated. I'm pretty sure that the cameraman there looks exactly the same. I mean, even the models of the cameras themselves are going to be the same, of course. They've got the latest boots. I wish they would just put them into FIFA 18 already. I love picking up new boots in the game. But there you can see the official Europa League trophy in all its glory. It's a beautiful trophy. I do like it, but of course it really doesn't mean anything compared to the Champions League trophy, which is what Man City should be lifting here. Notice how they've got the Europa League badge on their shirt, by the way. I'm guessing that will change depending on whether you're playing in the Europa League or the Champions League in your career mode, which is the first time, I believe, that kits would change depending on that. I mean, how does that work, actually? I'm wondering if your team is in the Europa League in season 1, if you then go into the Champions League in Season 2, will it automatically change? It better. That'd be completely weird. And now that it's licensed, I guess they have to. They have to represent the licensing properly with the kits and, you know, have all the appropriate advertising, I guess, because it's an official license. But this does look really good, guys. The cinematics here, very nice. This is what the Frostbite engine does give you. And I'm very excited for FIFA 19. Hopefully it's a new era for us career mode YouTubers if they can bring something else to the table. I'm still pleading for online career mode, but I think we would have heard about that by now. Unfortunately, that looks very unlikely. But with changes with the Champions League, Europa League, and tactical setups and things like that, maybe there's just more to come for career mode. But thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. FIFA 19 gameplay, news, and leaked screenshots, whatever may be, will be going up on this channel when I can upload them, if I'm allowed to. Hopefully this video doesn't get taken down. But all the best, guys. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you next time.